everyone, this is Leah from Dames in Disarray, and I'm here today with my mom, Angela Ramnath. Say hi, Mom.
Hi.
Okay, so Sierra's not here with us today, but she's going to be in the next one, and it's going to be a little bit different. So we're doing a bone broth type of soup, and as you all know, I'm vegetarian. So I'm just going to be inhaling the smells and the taste today as my mom sips the soup. So Mom, if you could introduce yourself and tell us what we're going to be making today.
I am Angela Ramnath, and I am actually Leah's mom. We're from MKCC. I know MKCC women will be watching as well, and thank you all for watching. Welcome to our show today, our podcast. So today I'm going to make, because we're in a 10-day fast, we're going to do a bone broth soup. And today I'll be using chicken feet for the bone broth because they said the chicken feet has the most collagen. And I don't know how true it is. That's what I heard one doctor say. So I'm going to use chicken feet and lots of vegetables and lots of seasonings and different things that I'll tell you about. So let me know when we could get started.
Yes, we're going to get started right now.
And I'll show you how to make bone broth soup with chicken feet and vegetables.
Yeah, so I mean in Trinidad this is just called ChickenFoot soup, right?
Yes.
And well, I want my mom to kind of talk a little bit about her life in Trinidad and like why you continue to eat this soup even though there is literally no meat on a chicken foot. And we're kind of doing a little mashup today. So she is recording today for her Esther Gathering, and my parents are pastors of Miramar Kingdom Community Center in Miramar, Florida, and you know she'll talk to us a little bit about like maybe the history of the church and the impacts of COVID on the church life and things like that. It's taking a little bit of like a left turn from our usual podcast, but hey, it's my mom, and I love my mom, and we're gonna do the thing for my mom. All right, Mom. So, what are the ingredients in the stew? Or the soup. You could just walk us through that. So
okay. So I'm going to put. I have here the onions already cut, garlic that you have to help me to peel and cut into its garlic bulbs. And then this cube here, it's a Trinidad thing, I think. We use green onions, celery, cilantro, and culantro, which we call shadobeni in Trinidad. And we grind it up with a bulb of garlic, and we freeze it in ice cubes.
Yeah.
Ice making cubes.
Yeah.
And so every time we cook, I take out one cube and I use it, so it's my fresh green seasoning.
That's kind of like what I do with my dal, is that I like make it and I wait till it cools down, and then I put it in ice cube trays. So I like pop two on the stove with some water.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's like okay, you know, college life. We got to prepare for like on the go meals. But in Trinidad, this is what they do. They blend up all their seasonings and they put it in an ice cube tray and they pop it out whenever they just like have to cook on the go. But like in Trinidad, people cook all the time.
Morning, noon, and night.
Yeah. So,
yes.
I don't know. Like, do you think how important is food in Trinidadian culture?
Oh, food is so important because I remember our mothers waking up like 3, 4 in the morning to cook for our fathers to go to work. Most of the fathers worked early morning. They had to be in Port of Spain, which is an hour or more away. By 6 o'clock. So my mom will get up 3 in the morning, cook. My father will leave home like 4:30 or so to go. So she had to cook him breakfast and lunch. Mm-hmm. She would cook roti with vegetables, and in Trinidad we use a lot of eggplant, tomatoes, potatoes, karela. What else we use? Long beans, which is like bodi, we call it. You know, stuff like that. Cabbage. So we use a lot of vegetables. So she'll make roti and a vegetable sauteed or something for breakfast. Then she'll do a lunch, which would be rice, and it could be red beans and chicken, or rice and dal and meat. And this is dal.
Yeah, so it's like a yellow split pea. In Trinidad we call it dal. And if and if you don't know where Trinidad is, it's an island right off the coast of Venezuela. It's like the last chain of the bunch of what is it called? The barrier islands,
Yes.
the Lesser Antilles. And it's mostly Indian folks and indigenous folks
And African.
and African folks, and it is a whole island of just like immigrated people and people who are like enslaved and brought into the island. So a lot of the food is just like super mixed. It's kind of like a melting pot. And yeah, there's just food for everything. Like anytime we go over to Trinidad, our family members are always asking us like, what can we cook for you? Like they ask us that before we come
we
to
gain
Trinidad.
at least 10 pounds when we go to Trinidad. Every time.
So we always have to like lose 5 pounds before we have to go, because our family they just love to feed us. It's like food is equal to love over there.
Yes, their love in Trinidad is food.
Yes.
So you better be ready because you can have breakfast. Sometimes we have 2 breakfasts because we have to go to 2 different places for breakfast, 2 different places for lunch, 2 different places for dinner. So it's a lot. In order to see everybody, you have to go eat by them and be ready for a lot of eating.
So let's start with the cooking process, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what's the first step here? My mom has a giant pot on the stove right now, and all the onions and the garlic and the seasoning cube is on the stove. And she's got some salt, pepper. I think this is grapeseed oil.
Yes.
Brown sugar.
Yes.
And she has pre-made dal. So we're going to make dal at a later time during this our podcast, maybe another episode.
Yes.
But basically, it's just like you melt down, you cook the split peas, and you chunke it, which is like you put hot oil, and
Jeera,
whole cumin seeds in the hot oil, and then you just throw that in the dal. So
the pot, as it's getting hot on medium heat, I put like a tablespoon of grapeseed oil.
She eyeballs everything.
I eyeball everything. Grapeseed oil because they say olive oil is not good in cooking high heat stuff.
Yes, so my parents are actually like health fanatics, right? So everything that they make sure it's just like safe to heat up, safe to ingest, even if it's like half cooked. And my mom has recently gotten like this sugar replacement thingy. Is that brown sugar or is that
This is brown sugar.
Okay, yeah. My mom recently got like this type of sugar, and it's like not sugar. It's like sucrose or something.
Oh, monk fruit. Sugar. So I put it here. It looks like sugar. It's not right now, but it is sugar.
Yeah.
And we got this coconut sugar as well.
I like coconut sugar.
To sweeten coffee and tea. Well, we don't sweeten teas, but for coffee and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna eyeball like a tablespoon of sugar.
Yes.
Into this oil.
Yes.
Okay.
And the heat on the stove is at medium heat right now. So basically you want to, was it brown the sugar?
Yes.
Yes, you're browning sugar. They do that a lot in Trinidadian food, I've noticed. I don't do it. I'm afraid of burning sugar. I can't make round roti, and my roti doesn't swell. I'm not ready for marriage.
Yeah, if you're in Trinidad, if your roti doesn't swell, you're not ready for marriage.
Yeah. Is there any other like cooking sayings that they say? Like is it only applicable to women who cook, or?
They say if you eat in a pot, like if you empty the food and there's a little food and you eat from it, or when the day you get married, it will be raining.
Wow. Well, looks like it's going to be a hurricane on my wedding day. All right. So we're waiting for this sugar to brown.
For the sugar to brown.
And she put the heat up a little bit to speed up the browning process. And I'm going to shell some of the garlic that she has out here. So Ma, like, since COVID, the whole pandemic happened, how do you think that affected your cooking?
Oh boy. So I had COVID last month.
Yes.
We tested negative early in the year, thank God. And it was a horrible thing. The most horrible disease I've ever had. It leaves you drained. I did lose some weight. I think that's the only good thing that came out of it.
Oh.
I lost like 5 pounds or so.
Mm-hmm.
So because when we went to Mexico and Texas, we were just eating and eating. So I lost some weight now, and I'm hoping to keep it off. But it keeps you drained. You're in bed most of the day. the first few days there's fevers and headaches, and then pains, aches in your joints and all of that. And it's like it takes turns going from your knee to your hip to your elbow, and like the pain just circulates, and it just drains you. So you have to be in bed, you have to sleep a lot, sleep more than wake actually in the first week or so. And well, thank God we took all the medications. I even had trouble breathing. I couldn't even walk from my bed to my bathroom without being out of breath, because I have an underlying cause, which is sinuses, and I couldn't breathe. So Fernando brought me oxygen, and I used it. I slept the whole night with it, and then I used it for one more day, and then it was over. But the doctor started me right away on hydroxychloroquine, and
The Z-Pack.
Z-Pack, Zithromycin, and you know, the zinc and vitamin C's and all those other things. So all those things helped me. I think I need a little more sugar. Give me the sugar. I put a tablespoon, but I think I need more. I like to see it a little more brown. So I'll just put some more sugar.
The smell of cooking sugar is my favorite. So yeah, my parents got COVID, and it was like the worst thing ever. And just like me and my brothers and our whole family was just worried the entire time.
We were separated for Christmas and New Year's, and the whole family. Cut this up into little pieces, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
The whole family was really concerned.
Yeah, the family was concerned, and thank God everybody was cooking and bringing food over for us.
Yeah.
Dropping it at the door, and we'll see them through the window.
Yeah, but like, you know, my parents didn't really have an appetite or anything. So they really struggled to eat during this time. So like, I don't know, was there anything, like what would you say is a good food to consume if you have COVID, or even if you're just feeling sick?
You only want soup, really. So the sugar is brown. I don't know if you want to show it to them before I throw it in.
A lot going on.
The chicken feet. So the sugar is brown. So I'm going to throw the chicken feet in there.
Ah!
And the chicken feet, I'll tell you about the chicken feet.
This is chaotic. This is chaotic. She just threw the chicken feet in the pot. That's like another reason why I'm just like, I don't know if I want to stew anything, because like you're browning this brown sugar.
And this is the color it gets. That's the color. I like it brown. That's why. Like, you know, nice golden color. And then we need all of this to come into the pot when you finish with the garlic.
She has me chopping garlic.
So we have chopped garlic, chopped onions, and the green seasoning I mentioned earlier.
I'm chopping on the world's smallest chopping board. Yes. So, I mean, you only want to eat soup when you were sick? Was it because like you couldn't like eat much, and you're like, I need at least?
We couldn't eat much, so like just a cup of soup would be too much for me.
Yeah.
Or your father. Just a cup of soup was more than enough for us.
Yeah. Well, before you got COVID, or even like after you got COVID, it's just like, what do you think, like, what's the role of food when it comes to like health, especially right now?
Oh, now, it's just eating now.
Okay.
That's good. Okay, you could just throw the whole thing in.
Okay.
Because we have chopped onion, garlic, and the seasoning I told you about.
All right.
We're going to put that in the pot.
I missed the pot a little bit. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. So the importance of food.
So the importance of food now is just eating to get our energy back, and to, if we had lost muscle and stuff, we just want to get it back. So that's why the collagen is important, and it's so good for us to get our strength back and strengthen our bones and all of that again. All the things we lost during COVID, this would do it. So
it's good to, you know, have my parents back almost at 100%. Honestly, they're doing a lot better than I thought.
Yeah, last week we were still drained. Although we tested negative, we were drained. We couldn't do anything much. If I came down to cook, I'll be exhausted. So it drains you for a long time.
Yeah.
So I would say, don't get COVID.
Oh gosh.
Please beware, be careful. some people say, well, it's like an influenza, it's like a flu, and it goes around, so eventually everybody gets it. But I'm hoping that's not true because you don't want to get this.
Yeah, well,
It's not easy.
well, you know, if you do get sick with anything, perhaps you can have this chicken foot soup to make you feel better. So she just mixed around all the onions and the garlic and her seasoning cube and just mixed around the chicken feet after pouring it into the hot brown sugar. Because it won't taste the same unless you have brown sugar.
Yes.
I realized that.
So let me get the water because we have to fill the water in now.
Yes.
Excuse me?
So my mom's going to put about, like 2 cups of water?
More than that, I'll eyeball it.
She's eyeballing the water.
Filtered water.
She's putting filtered water in the soup. Is there like a taste difference with the filtered water?
A taster.
Taste difference?
I do it for health reasons.
She does it for health reasons.
I don't use tap water because
No
of
tap
the
water.
impurities.
Impurities in tap water. All right, we got it. So she still has the pot between medium, like a little bit, like a little bit past medium, maybe 1 notch past medium. What else, Ma? Like, how have you felt like with your garden? Like, tell us about your gardening process.
Oh, my gardening. So back in April, I went out and I bought soil, I bought seeds, I bought containers, and I said I'm going to do an organic garden.
Yep.
So it's been a long journey. After about a month, everything, most of the things bloom, and I transplanted stuff into I transplanted the plants into the soil in soil bags. What do you call it? Growing bags that I had bought.
Yeah.
So with the growing bags, I bought more soil and I put into the growing bags, and I noticed they weren't flourishing and they weren't growing. Although I had them with good soil, 3 different types of soil. I had them with all the natural organic fertilizers and all of those things. So then I said, okay, I need help. I hired a gardener to come. So we emptied the bags, and we, oh, by the way, I have some extra ground celery that I'm going to throw in here from the juice that I made.
Oh,
celery
yeah.
Juice.
We can talk about her celery juice thing after
Yes.
she
Yeah, I'll tell you
concludes
this.
about her garden.
Yes. So I hired a gardener, and I'm gonna raise it to high. When it starts boiling, I'll put it back down again.
Okay.
So I hired a gardener, and he came one day and helped me. We dumped all the soil off the bags, and he put some cardboard on the ground itself, and then he put the soil over it, and then he replanted again. So this is like the second time transplanting those poor plants. And so we transplanted on the ground, and they started growing, and I kept watering. So that was April to May, June, July, August, September, October, November. I started seeing a few okras on the trees. That was my first harvest.
I think the okra is the only one that's really bearing any fruit.
Yeah, so the okra are the only ones that bear fruit. I did plant bodhi just like 2 months ago, and I have 2 bodhis on the tree already. So 2 bodhis, I have some okra. Every week I get 2 or 3 okra from the trees outside.
Yeah.
So it's coming along. I planted some peas tree, and they're really taller than me, but I know in Trinidad in December we get peas, but we haven't gotten peas.
I think it's because like our backyard, it's mostly like rock, so there's not much room for the roots to really go down. But I mean, anytime Mom sees an okra on the tree, she picks it and she puts it in the freezer so we can accumulate at least 10 okras so we can make something out of it.
We can fry it.
So I just want to recap here. We browned the sugar, we threw in the chicken feet, we put in the spices, the onions and the garlic, and Mom just added about 6 cups of water to this pot, and she put the temperature on high, and we are just letting that, I guess, come to a boil.
Yes. To come to a boil.
And this is to like loosen the chicken foot, because chicken feet are tough.
But it doesn't take long to boil, so I'm gonna let it boil for some minutes before, so I can loosen it for the collagen to really start. It has to get soft, so the collagen will start get it coming apart.
How long does this usually take to make the chicken foot soup?
An hour. An hour or so.
Okay. I guess it's worth it. I don't really know. I used to really love chicken foot soup when I was a kid, and then I was just like, I don't think it's worth the effort of peeling off this gelatinous flesh from this bone, from this foot bone of a chicken.
But it's our favorite, like we were talking about Trinidad. Ever since Trinidad, a lot of us would want the feet and the wings and the parts with the bones for some reason. And we just grew to love it. So it's still a favorite. And I'm so glad it is, because it's a collagen food. It's highest in collagen. So, you know, I'm just so happy about this. Just show that, if you want to just show them how it's looking. It's coming
I'll show you how it's looking. Also, for my Dames in Disarray listeners, I will link the video to our podcast episode so you can see what this looks like. Yes. Because honestly, it looks pretty good. I mean, if you're not like freaked out by feet, animal feet. But it's very... You don't even have to eat it. Just use it for the broth. Yeah, use it for the broth.
Yeah, you don't have to eat it if you don't want to eat the feet themselves.
So there's a dish in Trinidad called souse, right? What's the difference between this and souse?
The difference between souse, because souse is from pig's feet. Well, actually, in Bahamas, they make chicken foot souse too. So this could be a souse right here. It has the onions, garlic, seasoning, and everything it needs for a souse.
We haven't added any salt or black pepper to it yet, so.
Yeah, which reminds me, we can add salt and black pepper now.
How much eyeballing of the salt will you do?
Eyeball the salt.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna tell you in tablespoons how much salt she puts in there, because like in restaurants, I think we said this in a couple episodes before. It's like they pack on that salt, so when we cook, we're not used to like putting in that salt. Oh, so she's using an actual spoon.
Himalayan salt.
Himalayan pink salt, and she's putting in 1 tablespoon. Now 2 tablespoons, and that's. Is that a teaspoon?
Yeah.
You sure? Because it looked like I mean, it. So in Trinidad, they don't measure anything, right? So you pull out a spoon, and if it's small, it's a teaspoon. And if it's big, it's a tablespoon.
I'll just eyeball the black pepper.
Okay. So that looks to be about...
half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon of pepper. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper. I'm sorry, half a teaspoon of pepper, black pepper.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people like it spicy. Do you add like a whole pepper, or do you add...
I add the pepper, but I don't burst the pepper in it. I like to put the whole real peppers.
Oh, yeah.
Habaneros, but I don't burst it. We burst it when we eat.
And by burst, I mean just like, you know, cut it up.
Cut
like a lot of people like
pieces.
to cut up their peppers so that the spice can just kind of be in the whole soup. But this is like you get a hint. You know, you get a teasing of the pepper if you just leave the pepper whole and you put it in a soup.
Yeah. So this could be sauce here too. If you, all you need to add is a little more lime to this. I did wash it with lime before I put it in. All you need for sauce, it needs to be a little lime tasting and cucumbers. They put cucumbers, and that would be sauce.
I used to love sauce so much.
That would be sauce. But in today's case, it's going to be soup.
Oh, can you tell us how you clean the chicken feet?
Oh, I just used the scissors and I cut off the little nails.
The fingernails of the chicken feet.
And then I washed it with lime.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Thank God it comes clean.
Yeah.
So not too much work to do with that.
No. Oh, and Mom also chopped up some vegetables on the side. So she's got sweet potatoes and what's the other one?
I have, so I did sweet potatoes. I cut sweet potatoes. I cut green bananas and malanga. I don't know if you heard about malanga. It's a West Indian fruit as well.
I don't know what malanga is in like in
West Indian vegetables.
U.S.
Roots.
language.
It's a root, yeah.
It's a root. I know in like Caribbean cultures we all call it malanga, but I don't know what that would be translated into. So it is malanga.
Dasheen. Oh, sorry. In Trinidad they call it dasheen, and the Spanish countries call it malanga.
Oh, isn't
So
that
it's
like
a big root that they get the dasheen plants from.
what is the bean? Not the bean. What is the boba where they have like the root? What's that one called? Taro.
Taro.
It's taro.
Okay, so this is a family of taro.
Oh, I'm learning about root
Yes.
vegetables.
So that's a family of taro.
Yes. So basically when you're making these type of soups, right, you just like, you brown your sugar, you put in your whatever protein that you want, and you basically saute it up a little bit with your onions and your garlic and your seasoning, and then you add your water, and if you want any vegetables in it, you throw it in, like 15 minutes before the process is over, 30 minutes before the process is
because
over.
I'm letting this cook a little more.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is like a base recipe, and if you are vegetarian like me, I would like saute up some carrots, to be honest, or like some pumpkin or potatoes.
I do have carrots in here, I forgot to say.
Oh, she's got carrots in there.
I do.
Is that an Oreo?
Put the carrots in here.
With Trinidadian soups, or really like the soups that my mom makes, she has the dal base.
So this is the dal, and the same split pea, I boil it down to liquid.
And we talked about that already at the beginning of the podcast, but dal is so good. We just eat it on top of rice, and like if you want a meat or a protein with it, we just make it, we stew it. Also, to my fellow
Put this in
dames,
a little bit.
I've already poured myself a glass of something bubbly and tasty. It tastes like grape juice. What is it? My mom opened it.
Champagne.
It's some sort of champagne with an A on the bottle, and it tastes great. Compliments of my mom. And don't you just love being at your parents' house, and it's just like, I can consume everything I want here. I've lost weight since I've been here, though. I don't know what's going on. I guess.
We were out and sick.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I'm putting my secret ingredient that I
Wait.
put in lots of things.
Do you want to reveal your secret?
Should I?
If you want.
Well, yeah, I'm a generous person, so I will. So this is coconut cream. I'll show you the box.
She's putting coconut cream directly into the soup. Coconut cream makes everything so much better.
It makes everything better. This is my secret ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
Coconut cream.
You making a cake? Put some coconut cream in it.
Except a cake.
You making stewed chicken? Put some coconut cream in it.
And it says Ocho Rios pure coconut cream.
You having marital problems? Put some coconut
Rich
cream in
and
it.
smooth. Very rico.
Do you have emotional trauma? Put some coconut cream on it.
So that is my secret ingredient for everything.
It's great. So, Ma, can you tell us a little bit about your childhood or your life or your favorite foods growing up in Trinidad?
Yeah.
Tell me. Tell me your secrets.
Growing up in Trinidad in a little village called Presal. At that time, I don't even know if there were like 1,000 people living there.
Little town, little village.
Little village. Now there's like, I think there's like 3,000 people there now.
A lot.
So I was really shocked because
But it's mostly like our family, to be honest.
a lot of family, and then everybody lives like family. All the neighbors knew each
Yeah.
other, and you know, everybody knows everybody's business.
Yeah.
So that's where I grew up in Presal. Our playground was the cemetery because we had a big cemetery right opposite our house. on
That's
the
a
other side
very,
of the street.
it seems like a very normal thing to play in the cemetery in like
Yes.
Caribbean places.
Yes, because
Not
it
much
was like a
places to
recreation.
play. Bless you. From the black pepper.
Thank you. So, we played in the cemetery. Everybody met up there, and there were cashew trees near every grave.
Yeah.
So
They grew out of every grave.
So we would go pick cashew nuts we used to love the cashew nuts, eat the cashews and roast the nuts. And, you know, just enjoy playing there, cricket and football and whatever we would play, it would be in the cemetery. So we grew up there. My cousin lived in the back of me, Lolly, and then some other family, Chandler and Kimmy and all of them, all around. So we would all get together and play and have fun. So we grew up in Little Beginnings, and that's where I met your father too, in Presall.
Yeah.
He lived 6 houses away.
That's right. They were right down the street from each other.
Yeah.
But so growing up, what was your favorite food to make yourself?
My favorite food to make was, I loved a lot of food.
Yeah.
But I remember my mother had ducks and chickens in the back. She had ducks and chickens in the coop. And she reared ducks and chickens. So almost every weekend I would say, oh, I feel like eating duck. So she would say, okay, if you kill it, you can have it.
But did you name it?
No, thank God I never got close to them.
Okay.
So I killed the ducks or the chickens, and then I would cut it up and wash it and have it ready for her. All she had to do was cook it. And she would cook it, and then she'll make dal puri with it, which was my favorite roti. It's a roti with peas, split peas again.
It's the same dal, and they just dry it out, right? Or
Yeah, they boil it, grind it, and fill it into flour, and roll it out, and make it into a roti, like a pita, but a roti. And oh my God, that was so good, roti with duck.
Oh gosh.
So that was like my favorite dish. Duck is still my favorite dish.
I don't know how I do it. Every time I go to Trinidad, I just I don't eat the meat, and it all just smells so good. I'm just lucky that with Indian cuisine, there's so many good vegetable things. Like my favorite thing when I was a kid over there, growing up, it's always been callaloo with dumplings, or callaloo just with rice, and callaloo is just spinach, basically. Spinach with a whole bunch of coconut cream.
Oh, you have a bowl in here.
Yeah, my mom made some earlier today for me. Thank you. Look at this kind mother. Just took it out of the oven.
I cooked for Dylan today. I made rice and dal and spinach with
So,
a callaloo.
How does it feel to, I don't know, not know your food that you're cooking, not to kill your own duck and stuff like that? Do you prefer not to kill your own duck, or do you feel like there's a sense of loss with the distance between your food or something?
No, well, I would prefer fresh foods, like fresh killed, but I'm used to here now buying everything frozen already, which, you have to thaw and then season and cook and all of that. So it's a difference adjusting, but we've adjusted well, and we like the foods here too. So some people now say they got so used to eating frozen foods that they can't eat the fresh ducks or chickens or whatever when they go there.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Even your father, ask him.
What, it tastes too fresh?
I can't just kill it and eat it there. But to me it tastes, fresh, which is good fresh.
Yeah.
And then you became a vegetarian when you saw them killing chickens.
Oh yeah, they were killing the chickens right on the side of the road because they got these chicken stands. And what they do is they have this cone, and they put the head in first, and then the whole thing, they slit the throat, the blood drips down. I'm just nah, I'm okay. And then I just became vegetarian, and then I lifted weights for a little bit, and I was getting really buff, so I was eating more chicken, but it was only chicken breast, and I did that for about 6 months. But I basically been vegetarian since I was 13?
Yeah, a long time. She got traumatized in Trinidad and never recovered.
It's not a bad thing, though. I feel like being a vegetarian has its perks. I mean, I don't necessarily miss the meat anymore because, when my parents make bacon or, they make anything with pork, to me it smells like people. And I'm just I can taste it with the smell.
It smells like people.
Yeah, when they make it, it's just there's that smell of this lingering death of flesh in the air.
So now I'm going to put the...
Good segue.
Boiled.
Yeah, so Mom just boiled the heck out of the chicken feet for about 20 minutes. And now she's adding her vegetables into the soup.
For another 20 minutes.
For another 20 minutes. And then after that, the soup will be done after we add the dal.
So this is going to be boiling for like 20 minutes. I'm going to put the dal now so it can boil again.
Mm-hmm.
So the same yellow split pea, I boiled it down to a liquid. And I'm going to put some. You could or you don't have to, but we put it because it thickens the soup.
Does everybody do that in Trinidad?
Yes, everybody does. So it thickens the soup.
So a lot of recipes that I've been reading, it uses potatoes to thicken soup.
Okay, that's in America. So in Trinidad, oh, that's a good idea. That's an easy idea.
That's an easy idea.
The dal takes like an hour to boil.
Yeah.
So, in this case, I put
Dal.
dal.
Yeah.
And so the sauce would get thicker.
So
and
do you add
tastier.
You add it as you get to the consistency you want, or you just put in however many?
I just put like 3 scoops of this.
Okay, so she's
ladle.
holding up a ladle. She's holding up
Which
a
is
ladle.
like a cup.
No.
Yeah, it's like a cup because this is a 2 cup. So
Oh
I
yeah.
use like a cup of the dal.
Yeah, so she so far put 1 cup of dal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's looking pretty good. Honestly, I feel like I'm missing out. But I'm feeling good.
You could bring it closer and show a picture.
Okay.
And this is it. So I'm gonna stir it up here.
And we're hovering my laptop above this pot of soup. And honestly, it smells so good. I kind of just want to put my face on top of it, like if it were a humidifier or like an essential oil diffuser, because it smells so good.
But so I wanted to add here, with the weight loss we've done, my goal for this year for the women at MKCC and for Esther Gathering is to look at our health more closely, pay attention to our health. And last year we went to the doctor and we had a scare. We got our blood test done and all of that, and we had a scare because our cholesterol was high, blood sugar, not diabetic, but borderline, and everything was just like way off. And the doctor said, you have to do something about this or else you'll become diabetic, you'll have heart problems, cholesterol problems, and all of that. So she told us no meat, no sweets, no carbs for 3 months. And actually that was, last year around May or so. You want to heat that up? Is it cold?
I'm eating the food that you left for me right now. It tastes good.
So she put us on a 3-month plan. And she told us that berberine, which is like a natural supplement to lower sugar and stuff, blood sugar. So we started that, and we weren't even 100% strict. Leah knows because she saw it.
And I was getting infuriatingly mad because I'm just like, you guys are on a diet, you almost have diabetes, why are you guys doing this? The way you're supposed to.
But we cut down like half of what we used to eat and stuff, half the amount. So in like 3-4 months we went back to the doctor, did our test again. But besides that, we lost like 15 pounds each.
Yeah, they're doing
Within
really,
3
really
months,
good.
3 to 4 months.
And then they're like, we deserve a little treat every now and then.
Yeah, every weekend or so. And
I
the
don't
doctor
believe
agreed
in
with me
treats.
when
I don't
told her.
believe in
I said, we need a
treats.
cheat day or something. She said, oh yeah, the weekend is fine. So so the weight went down, the cholesterol went down a little. The A1C for the blood sugar didn't go down, it moved too much. So the doctor said, okay, somewhere along the line you're cheating here.
Cheating too much. If you have 3 out of 7 days of the week as your cheat days, I don't know. I don't know.
So, well, here we are again.
Yeah.
But I realized that we have to continue doing what we're doing and being more strict about it because we need healthy bodies in order to do our purpose, carry out our purpose in life, and to do what God sent us here to do. So we're continuing, and with the weight loss from COVID, we're down to like 5 pounds less again. So the total weight loss is like 20 pounds.
I guess
now.
there is a silver lining to the absolute suffering.
Yes. So I thank God for everything.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I go for my physical, and she's gonna do the test again, and I'll be 20 pounds lighter than I was in early last year. So it's a big deal, and I encourage all of you. We need our healthy bodies. If I would run up the stairs before I did this, if I would run up the stairs to go upstairs, I would be like out of breath. But I'm doing better now. So the exercise helps as well. We got a trampoline, a little one outside, and well, from COVID we haven't jumped, but we used to go out there and jump a few days out of the week. And then we started walking with our friends, Jonathan and Gita, at the beach in Deerfield. But he was really, oh gosh, a taskmaster. We would go and he would walk us on the beach, on the boardwalk for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours straight. So we'll do that one day out of the week. And that'll be our 2.5 hours of exercise for the week. But we were doing, and then we'll go swimming afterwards. So again, I'm 56 now. And I'm getting older, but I don't want to feel older and feel sick and have diabetes and have to take medication, insulin and stuff like that. So I thank God we don't have diabetes, we don't have heart problems, and our cholesterol is going down, and we are healthier people, and we can travel around the world like we do and be healthier and set a good example to others. So as a public figure out there, I think we need to be in shape. It took me a long time to get here to this point, but I can't believe I let myself go for so long.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're really great. They got good discipline, my parents, and you know, I think they just like to cheat too much, but they use like I guess adversity and just being sick as like an opportunity to kind of reset. Even though this should not be the way that we do things, at least look at the silver lining and just be like, okay, well, I still have to think about my health, and if it wasn't for the dieting that they were doing before, I'm pretty sure COVID would have been even more detrimental than it was to their body than it had been. So I mean, it's really hard to stay fit, and it's really hard to like be disciplined when you're in your house all the time and like you can't really see your friends. Like I don't go to jiu-jitsu anymore, and I mean, I've lost all my muscle mass and I'm skinny, but it's just like, you know, the joy of being and doing group activities with people and doing a sport that I love is kind of like suspended in the air, and I really miss it. But this is what we got to do. So not only can or should we be disciplined in our health and our diet and our exercise while in COVID and isolation, in quarantine and whatnot, we need to be disciplined in, you know, thinking about the community and actually sticking to quarantine and like minimizing being in contact with other people, because it's an absolute sacrifice to not be doing jiu-jitsu. Like I'm so bummed out because I just like I can't go.
Yeah, so sad.
I know, but I mean, it is what it is, and it's just hopefully this doesn't play out for another like year or so, because it has been almost an entire year now.
December 19 to December 20 was a year. So.
Well, but in lockdown March, you know, so
yeah, lockdown.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really good to see that you are. I think like her cooking too has elevated. And I said this about something about like grandma ascendancy. Like when you become a grandmother, your cooking like it tastes so much better, like times 10. But like since quarantine, mom's been baking bread. She's been making all the food, all the soup, all the like curry. She's made dal curry and bus up shot and stuff like that,
which I never did before.
And like she's been making a lot of food that like we eat in Trinidad.
I never tried before.
Yeah, and we would get all this food in Trinidad, but like normally we would just go and visit to get this food. But now she's like making it, and it tastes so good. And I need to learn how to make a round roti. I need to learn how to make it swell, and then I'll be ready for marriage, Mom.
Yeah.
So.
Keep going.
Yeah. So I mean, what else is there, Mom? Like what? Tell me about like maybe some things that you're gonna do a little bit differently now that you've gotten COVID, or.
So I'll say, don't wait. Start today. I'm gonna put the hot habanero in here.
Oh, okay. Before she answers this question, she's throwing a habanero pepper into the soup.
Must have a hot pepper in there. but I'm not gonna cut it up into pieces or
She just
anything.
threw the whole pepper in there.
Mhm.
So anything that like you've learned from the experience and you're gonna be like really sticking to like with a behavior or like routine or something?
I'll say, don't wait until you hit rock bottom like us. COVID does attack people, even in a worse way, who has underlying causes. And like I said, my sinuses were really inflamed over the years. And then Trista Sue, actually, our friend in Naples, our Kingdom sister, told me about the celery. So I started juicing celery every morning last year for like 8 months. Every morning I juiced a bunch of celery and I drank it. And I noticed after like the 3rd month or so, my sinuses problem were all gone. I was all clear. I was just 100% better already.
Oh yeah, the celery.
Yeah. So I kept doing it for like 8 months and then I stopped. And then, so when I got COVID, my sinuses bothered me to the point where I couldn't breathe and stuff, the underlying cause. Thank God it wasn't. If it was worse, I could have been dead.
Yeah.
But I thank God that my sinuses had come up healed, so it wasn't bad. I still suffered some shortness of breath and my oxygen went down to 84 sometimes. But I had the oxygen. Thank God for Fernando and Mary. Thank God for the prayers of the MKCC family and family all around the world who were praying for us. Our children, our families, everybody were cooking, and my mother and sister were bringing food over every day and all of that. So everybody, it was just a community effort for us to get better. So I'll say get your body in shape today. Get yourself in shape so even if you do get COVID, God forbid, down the line, you wouldn't have a hard time and you'll recover quickly from it. So get yourself in shape, like I said again. Watch your blood sugar, watch your cholesterol, your intake, and all of that. Eat more fruits and vegetables. Splurge on the weekends if you want. Get back.
Don't splurge on the
Monday
weekends.
to Friday, get back on the routine. Be responsible and do it for your families as well. Keep your family healthy as well because they deserve to live a long life and to carry on this purpose that we have to do in our lives.
Yeah. So back to the recipe really quick before we just kind of like end because it looks like it's almost ready.
I'd say another 10 minutes it should be ready.
So for the I think now it's been about 35 minutes, maybe 40 minutes since we've added the water and all the other ingredients and things like that, and it's been on like a medium boil, like a low boil, and we are just tenderizing the chicken feet still and now cooking through the vegetables. So basically, like the longer you cook a chicken foot, the softer it becomes, and I think that's the chemistry that I've learned here.
Yeah, so the longer you cook it, it gets softer and the collagen escapes.
The collagen escapes. It escapes.
But I wanted to show them some soups I've gotten at Whole Foods.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh my gosh, my mom's been like a Whole Foods soup binge in the last couple of days. I guess because they could only eat soup, right? So she got this miso soup, she got this ramen, and then what other soup you got? Like the pho? And the thing is, you can get all these at Whole Foods. You can probably get them at like Publix or whatever your local grocery store chain is. And you just add water and that's it. But my mom really goes for like the all natural stuff, and like she doesn't even make them in the container. She empties them in a pot, adds her water, adds the flavor packet. She's standing here with 5 different things.
Okay. So this one.
Okay, so this is vegan Thai coconut big bowl of noodles, and the brand is Ocean's Halo. So here it is, the vegan Thai coconut. It's a gigantic bowl as big as my head, and you can get this at Whole Foods.
Yes.
And you've had this before?
No, I never had it. I just bought it on Saturday. I went.
So she's trying different.
For the fast and the foods and stuff, we need soup every night. So.
Oh, and here is a One Culture Foods, a Vietnamese beef pho with bone broth, warm spices, and cilantro. And this is beef flavored. And there's a wonderful picture on the top.
We love pho So the beef broth and all of that. So all we have to add is the tendons or whatever.
And the love. My mom adds like extra onions and garlic and spices.
Cayenne.
And this one's a spicy kimchi rice ramen noodle soup, freeze-dried. It has freeze-dried chunky veggies made with organic brown rice. So this is brown rice ramen. And we've had a couple of these. Oh, the brand is You, Me, and Kimchi.
Now these I got at Publix.
Okay, so she's got an instant miso cup soup in seconds. Savory with seaweed, and I don't know, do they come in cubes or something?
I'm not sure, but powder. But I
Okay.
plan to when I make these in the pot, I put the water, the seasoning. I plan to put ramen in this too.
Okay.
And I bought some extra ramen. Let me
Oh, it's just.
That's Publix too.
And here is a Right Foods Dr. McDougall's vegan miso ramen noodle soup made with organic ramen. So this is all like instant soup, but it's all like a healthy variety of instant soup. And as I said, my mom does not even make it in the containers because of the phthalates that could be let out because the cups are lined with plastic. So unless it says it's like BPA free, like, you know, maybe make it in a bowl. It says source, there's no BPA, so you can make it in this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my mom adds so much water to all of these.
I like to make my soups real watery. I love lots of soup. This one was at Whole Foods. This is ramen that I could add to any of those that are the one that doesn't have ramen.
Jess, so this is a millet and brown rice ramen, and it's Lotus Foods brand, and it's just like the ramen noodles without any seasoning or anything in there.
You put your own.
Yes. So
I got this flavor too.
Uh-huh.
It's rice with bamboo.
Okay, so Jade Pearl Rice Ramen. Again, this is Lotus Foods. It's gluten-free and vegan. It's ready in 4 minutes, so you can just add this to whatever soup broth maybe and just throw in some like frozen vegetables. That's what I do. And my mom and our church is on a fast right now for the next 10 days, and it's like basically they're consuming all these superfoods and kind of doing a cleanse, but it's not like one of these starve yourself cleanses. It's more of just like eat clean and what is it, like low carb or
yes, and,
no processed,
yes,
really.
no processed, and you would not find anything in my kitchen with preservatives.
Yeah.
I have a ban against coloring, food coloring, preservatives, and all MSG and stuff like that.
My mom's kind of always been like this, so like
for years and years.
Yeah, I think like we stopped eating like fruit roll-ups and stuff when we were 5, when I was 5, so we got like a little bit of processed foods, and my mom would have, you know, we would go and get ice cream and stuff as like a treat, but we were still like chubby kids because my mom still made really good food, and it's like Trinidadian food, so it's like delicious. And now back to the soup, right? So the skin of the chicken foot is like falling off of the bone, and it looks pretty.
I don't know if you want to bring the computer again.
It looks pretty fire.
So it's really falling apart from the bones.
You can see the chicken knuckles.
It's falling apart. So that means the collagen is coming out. The broth, the bone broth. It's really coming out of it.
Yeah, this is really good. I mean, like, I know in jiu-jitsu a lot of people, they drink bone broth for some reason, and I guess like if you are training and you need to like replenish your muscles, I suppose drinking liquid protein and collagen is good for restoring those broken muscles.
Our chiropractor drinks bone broth every day, and this lady we met in Bahamas, she's in her 70s, and she doesn't even look. She looked like she's 50, and we asked her what's her secret, and she said she drinks bone broth every day and walks every day.
Do you walk every day?
When I get my strength back, I'm going to.
I feel like I've been hearing that for years, but
I will. This is a new year.
You want to give that a taste, or you want that to simmer a little bit more?
You want to taste?
I cannot taste.
Oh, yes, you can. Okay, let me do it.
Okay. So you see our instant ramen tower here. It's wonderful. She's got her spoon. She is dipping the spoon into the soup. She is blowing on the spoon. And how is it?
Perfect soup.
Perfect soup every time.
Perfect.
So you want to repeat that recipe really quick for
Yes.
them to know?
So I brown. I have the pot. I put 1 tablespoon of oil, grapeseed oil, into the pot. I brown like 2 tablespoons of sugar, brown sugar. Once it's golden brown, I put some chicken feet in, already cleaned and washed. And I brown the chicken feet. Then I put in onions, cut onions, garlic, and seasonings, green seasonings. And after that, I stir up the pot, and I put like 6 cups of water, filtered water, and let that boil for like half an hour. And after that boils for like half an hour, then I put the vegetables in, and I put the dal that's already cooked, the split pea that's boiled down to just a liquid. I put a cup of dal. I put all the vegetables that I would like in my soup. I put sweet peppers, carrots, malanga, and green bananas. Now some people like other things like yuca, and people put yams and stuff like that, like the Caribbean yams, nami, and stuff like that. So if you want to put that as well, you could. Some people even add in Trinidad, they never make soup without dumplings. But we don't put dumplings. I don't, because it's more carbs. So I try to keep, the vegetables, the root vegetables already has carbs. So I don't like to add more carb. Then I put a little cube of coconut cream that I showed before, and some salt. I use the Himalayan salt, like 2 teaspoons of salt and half a teaspoon of black pepper. And then in the last, I put my pepper in to just, get softened, and then we'll cut it when we get ready to eat. And it boiled. So the soup took like an hour to cook.
Yeah.
Basically. An hour, and you have your bone broth, chicken feet soup, and like I say, some people eat the soup and the feet. Some people don't eat the feet. So whatever you prefer, but the broth, it's already rich with collagen from the feet.
Yep.
So
that's it.
Well, it's time to enjoy.
Thank you so much for being on James in Disarray. I super appreciate it. And it's a mashup again with the Esther Gathering of MKCC.
Yay.
So hello to all the ladies. Thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you. And we hope that in the very least, maybe in the next time you make a soup, just add a cube of cream of coconut? Yeah, coconut cream into your soup, and see maybe if you could add a Caribbean flair to the next soup that you make.
Yes.
So that's it for now.
That's it for now. Next month we may make something else, like quinoa pilau or something.
Ooh, yes. Okay, so like if you guys want to add another cooking show, or like a cooking audio to your daily routine, add Dames in Disarray, of course, and add the Esther Gathering group, and they're on Facebook, and they're going to be posting videos to their Facebook pages. So we're going to post those links on our Instagram, and don't forget to like and follow us on our Instagram, and also you can find us on our Instagram by searching for Dames in Disarray. So this is Leah, and this is
Angela,
and we just want to say thank you
for joining us,
and bon appetit.
Yes.
Bye.